Here's a maple that was left over from my cutting board. Grab your Hasami mug. Grab something to trace your mug around your wood. Using a bandsaw or a jigsaw, cut out the circular shape that you just drew.
So basically now you have a little cutout here of your circle. There was a lot of burning from the bandsaw, but it made it kind of look like a little stump. So you could use it as is, but we're going to go ahead and clean this up and shape it a little bit more to how we want it to fit our cup perfectly.
Make sure you have a very loose grip on your wood so that it can fly out and hit the camera, just like that. Now continue to sand as if nothing happened. Do a quick test fit to see if the size of the circle is appropriate for your mug. It looks a little big at this point, so we'll sand off a little bit more. Do another test fit, and at this point I think it looks good. So I'm using a router to route away the bottom indentation of the coaster. This is a kind of dangerous method, and I don't recommend you to do it unless you feel comfortable. I felt comfortable, but you should always take precaution, work slowly, and be careful of your fingers. Make sure to route away the material very little at a time. You do not want to remove too much material at one time. Do multiple test fits, and if it doesn't fit, route away a little bit more, and do more test fits, and then ultimately you should have a lid that fits perfectly in your mug. Here's a quick jig I made that has a secondary fence perpendicular to my router fence. You want to make sure your secondary fence is 90 degrees from your primary fence. You also want to make sure your jig is securely fastened to your table. I'll be using this jig in order to route out the center circle, leaving just a thin lip for the coaster. So I started routing out the center freehand, just eyeballing it and getting the middle cleared out until I felt it getting closer toward the lip. Once you feel that the router bit is getting closer to the edge, you want to use your fences as a guide so that the router bit cannot surpass the certain point of your lip. And you want to move one of the fences a little bit at a time until that lip gets smaller and smaller. Do a quick test fit. Move the fence and route a little bit more. And your final test fit. Now onto my favorite part, sanding. Wipe off all the dust you can using a paper towel. Wipe it over with a tack cloth. For the finish, I decided to use a butcher block conditioner. It contains mineral oil and waxes that'll help protect it. Since the coaster and the lid will come in contact with food or your beverage, I thought it'd be good to use a food-safe product such as mineral oil and waxes.